Y'all, we have probably been doing fellowship wrong, and we need to get back on track to it because persecution is coming and fellowship is key to that. Come on, let's get it. The thing is, fellowship was so important to the early church because it was a time where people could say, hey, can you help us with a place to live? Can you help us to fund what we're trying to do to spread the gospel? Can you hide us? Can you talk to the government? I've been preaching the gospel here or there and we need resources. Hey, can you encourage me? We're being persecuted and killed. That was what fellowship originally was, sharing in the goods that you already had, whether that was financially or spiritually, but it was not just hanging out. Look, I know that we're all used to hanging out, and that is what we call fellowship. I grew up that way. It was, barbecues, going to people's houses, cookouts, just chilling, watching movies, things like that. We called that fellowship. But the thing is, true fellowship, based on the Bible and history, is a time to be unified in spirit, i.e. talking about Christ, encouraging one another, talking about resources and how you can fund the gospel and the ministry of others, and sending people out. It was never just kicking it. So when did this change happen? What I researched, it was Constantine's conversion started the institutionalization of the church. So we went from being persecuted to protected, which means that we didn't need to hide in these spaces and be so communal. And this gradually continued over time. Once the medieval period came about, it continued. There was a different type of structure, very institutionalized. This continued, which means that the fellowship actually became rituals and church attendance rather than a quiet, sacred place where people could encourage one another in their faith and in their walk in doing the assignment that the Lord had given them, which is to share the gospel. Then the Reformation happened, and obviously there was a lot of church history that came out of that. So yes, the Reformation came, but what it did was still have an institutionalized structure of how we fellowship, which again, it just remained in the church. Then came America and our need to be individual. So now it's even worse. We have this highly institutionalized version of what church is, which church is the ecclesia, and we're so far from it. I don't think we're anywhere near it. I think we like saying the word, but if we were really to be in fellowship, we would do away with church buildings and begin to have house churches. That's a whole other conversation. But the thing with Americans is that our faith became more individual. How I feel. This is my walk, which is separate from your walk. Everything is different. We don't do anything together. And then it got even worse in America with the seeker-friendly, seeker-sensitive churches, where everything became so shallow and surface level, and fellowship eventually became just hanging out, kicking it, watching movies, and eating food. None of it is this sacred space where we are exhorting one another, where everyone there is discipled and discipling. Each person in that group can preach the gospel, can go out on the streets. Every person is in a struggle because they're being persecuted and they have to share the gospel, and their heart is so moved by Christ. They're so close to the fact that Christ was really here and he is here. We don't have that. So fellowship is so far away from being united in one spirit. That is fellowship. It's being united in one spirit, saying we are sharing in the cost of us spreading the gospel. Do you need a place to live? You can come live here. No cost. Do you need food? Come and eat this food. You're sharing the gospel. We're sharing the gospel. Or it's like, man, this person's demon possessed. Can you help me with solving this? Oh, I feel so discouraged in this assignment. I'm struggling with fasting. It was about encouraging those things, not just hanging out. And when I found this out, I was so mind blown, but understood why every time we go to a fellowship, it's just hanging out and everyone's talking about worldly things. They're not talking about the things of God. This is a problem. And I pray that this video helps you, because me doing this research helped me to understand. And I was a part of that for a really long time. But the way that the Holy Spirit has been moving inside of my heart is that this needs to change, because persecution to the church is just around the corner. And we need fellowship, real fellowship. We have to get out of the habit of hanging out. I pray that this helps you and that it blesses you. Peace.